Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm hoping you're well this cold evening. I would like to welcome you to today's webinar on empowering quality with the focus on the role of QA, a modern QA, in shaping software excellence, brought to you by Test Community Kenya. My name is Angela Kandie, and I'll be your MC for this session. So you would ask yourself, who is a modern QA? I think a modern QA is someone who evolves, who is adaptable, and who is not afraid to take on new challenges. So I'll add on to housekeeping rules. So everyone's mic is muted, and I'll start by unmuting the speaker for the the mic for the speaker for the day, and then the rest of you, your mics will be unmuted when it comes to the Q&A session at the end of this session, so that you can, if you would like to speak or answer your question or ask your question, you will be able to unmute you. In the meanwhile, throughout the session, you can use the Q&A section for the questions that you might be having. Then I will respond to them later by redirecting them to the speaker. Yeah. So we'll have 3 sections, and the first section is what I'm already covering, which is the introduction. And then I'll hand it over to the speaker for the day. Then the last section will be the Q&A session. I would like to introduce the speaker for the day, who is Emmanuel Njoroge. Emmanuel Njoroge is a QA manager, and he wears many hats. One of them being is the chapter lead for Browser Stack Kenya. And during this session, you will also be able to tell us what is Browser Stack and its relevance or importance in improving the test efficiency or processes. So a little more about Emmanuel. Emmanuel is clearly driven by passion, and you will see this when you will be presenting, for continuous learning, growth, and making a meaningful impact. And is also a versatile professional, and we can also see that he excels as a software QA engineer. He is also a Moodle analyst. I'm not sure what Moodle is, but Emmanuel, I hope you will be able to let us know what Moodle is. And true to what I said about him wearing many hats, he's also a software developer focusing on front end. He's a graphics designer and IT consultant. Ooh, Emmanuel, who wouldn't want to be like you? He's currently expanding his expertise in networking, data protection, project management, and data science. And he's also proficient in many tools. And his stack is not only limited to QA. Yes, outside of tech, he's also an accomplished musician, and he says through that he brings joy to the world as an advanced drummer. Oh, hats off to you, Emmanuel. So I think we are all impressed by what Emmanuel brings as a professional and even as a person outside of his profession. So I would like to hand it over to you, Emmanuel, so that you could take us through the session. So you can take it over.
Thank you very much for the detailed introduction. It was an honor to be introduced. Wearing so many hats, I can only say it's by the grace of God. My name is Njoroge Emmanuel. I'm a QA, software QA in this platform, but I wear many hats, as my colleague has said. She talked about Moodle. Moodle is a learning management platform, and it's a system that handles learning for users, something like Coursera, that's a learning management platform. We have Udemy, that's a learning management platform, and now we have Moodle. Moodle now is a learning management system whereby it's an open source system whereby you can tune or you can arrange your learning according to how you would like users to perceive your learning organization in your school or in your university as such. So I'd like to start my presentation for the day. Today, I'd like to be talking about the role of modern QA in shaping software excellence. Allow me to share my screen, if it's okay. Hope you
Please
can
go
all
ahead.
see. Yeah, hope you can all see my screen.
Yes.
Yes. So today, I'd like to be talking about the role of modern QA in shaping software excellence. So who is Emmanuel Njoroge? So just a brief repeat of what my colleague has said. My name is Njoroge Emmanuel. I like calling myself Optimus Bug Hunter X. I even have an email for it because of my passion for QA. I love finding bugs at all corners. And my designation is software quality operations. And I also have some experience in cybersecurity and automation. My primary directives are identifying and eliminating system vulnerabilities. I optimize code performance and stability, and I lead and expand browser stack Nairobi network. I'm based in Nairobi. I have a wife and a 4-month-old son, and I'm pleased to be with you today. And my tagline is always, I see what others miss, and I hunt what others fear. I'm a guardian of quality and a hunter of flaws. Yes. So the topics of the day will be, the first topic will be from a tester to a quality champion. The second will be the tools that a quality champion and the tech that a quality champion and the automation tools that a quality champion can use. And the third and the final topic will be building for software excellence. So yeah, let's get right to it. So the first topic will be from tester to quality champion. So I always try and differentiate being a normal tester and being a quality champion, because the primary directive of a tester is to find bugs and to find issues in a system. But a quality champion finds both issues, but also tries to find improvements. This is a tester and a quality engineer who puts himself in the shoe of a user and asks himself, what would a user do? What area would a user touch, or what feature would a user touch or encounter that we have not put in our test cases? So as you can see, for the past 10 years, quality assurance has transformed dramatically and it has grown exponentially. We can see this from the old methods of testing, that's whereby we had manual testing in the past. Nowadays, automation has been so rampant and it has grown, and now we are now shifting to AI, incorporating AI in testing. And in the past, QA was often viewed as a final checkpoint, like it was the final thing, like do everything, develop everything, define everything, then we'll QA later. So it acted like a gatekeeper who normally finds bugs after development. But today, QA is being brought and embraced in every phase of the SDLC cycle, the software development life cycle. We no longer just test. We also collaborate, we guide, we question, and help shape the product. Like currently, what I normally do, we are actually even involved in definition, because as a QA, you're supposed to think as a user. You're supposed also to perceive yourself as a developer. You're supposed also to wear the shoes of a product analyst and look for loopholes that were missed as a stakeholder. In short, you will wear 4 hats while you are testing. The hat of a stakeholder, the hat of a product analyst, the hat of a QA, and the hat of a developer. So you have to look for loopholes where loopholes were missed. You have to find defects where defects are still present while the system was being developed. And as a QA, you have to also think outside the box and see if this UI UX that has been brought, is it the best UI UX for a user? And in modern development, quality is everyone's responsibility, whereby a QA leads the way by building the culture of quality. In the past, bug hunters were found at the end, but right now, we are strategic partners from the start, which is a very, very, very key thing. And I can really admit that QA has been given the platform that it should, and it has been given the spotlight that it deserves. And it's really growing rampantly, which I'm really appreciating day in, day out, even as I'm in the QA world. And also, QA now contributes also to planning and to automation, and also in the CI/CD pipeline, and also as part of the release strategy. QA also empowers teams to do shift left and shift right. So shift left and shift right. Some of you can ask yourselves, what is shift left and what is shift right? Shift left and shift right. This is testing done before and after development. So before you develop and during development and also after development. And I always encourage people to do both. You don't just do one or do the other. You do both, because this is when you will identify defects and loopholes way before production, and some you'll identify them during production. And it's not bad finding bugs during production, but I always encourage, find most bugs during your staging or your UAT, use acceptance testing levels of testing. And also I encourage a culture where everyone follows quality. The old QA methods used waterfall methods and sequential methods. You caught bugs at the end of the testing period and you worked in silos. You can think of silos as pods, like in an isolation mode whereby you have to work alone and find bugs alone and not work as a team. And it was mostly engaged in automation test, manual testing, sorry. And it was having a not my job culture, whereby if you are not part of QA, you didn't focus on QA, you did focus on quality. But the modern QA that we are in is integrated with agile methodology. It has DevOps and CI/CD methodologies in it. It prevents bugs early. Actually, around 70% of bugs are normally caught before production and before you do the release. And it's embedded in teams also, and it has automation and strategy as part of it. And quality is an ownership done by everybody. And I can say it is something that it's a glorious step for the QA world. And in the left side, you can see a frustrated tester with bug reports. This is an old tester who uses old methods. You see how he's frustrated and looking at the new tester and admiring to be the modern QA tester. Let's not be this tester. I would not like to be this frustrated tester. I'd like to be this right side tester, whereby he's a QA in a collaborative team with pre-planned meetings and with modern QA solutions and tools like BrowserStack, as my colleague shared early, whereby I was even telling them that BrowserStack is a tool, it's a one-in-all tool that you can do both manual, automated, visual testing, and also AI testing, which was launched 2 months ago. Now you can do a full stack testing. You can be a full stack QA. You see? So as I discussed, what is shift left and shift right? Shifting in QA, shift left means catching issues earlier. It's before, even from your left hand, you do things before. While shift right focuses on post-release monitoring. So shift left mostly and is about unit tests, exploratory tests, statistical analysis, and story grooming. While shift right is mostly about observability, user feedback, and A to B testing. Which, okay, I put an explanation of what A to B testing. It's also called split testing or bucket testing, whereby you compare the performance of two versions of a content to see which one appeals more to visitors or viewers. Like you compare the current version to the updated version and see which one appeals more to a user. So you compare A to B, you do an A to B testing. And also, if you do shift left and shift right, if you do both, it's always best to apply both. And if you do both, you are now encouraging and employing speed and confidence in releases. Releases that used to take longer because of doing post-production testing and keeping and bringing back rolling of releases, like you've released and now you back. You go a release back. If you are in version 1.9 and went to 2.0, you now go back to version 1.9. I think that takes longer. But if you apply both shift left and shift right, you will find your releases are smoother, are faster, and you move with confidence because you are confident you have found most of the bugs. And also QA is in Agile and DevOps. It's no longer a bottleneck. It's a partner in continuous delivery. And we can see this in Agile and DevOps, whereby QA is not an isolated function or the team that holds the release hostage at the end of the cycle. It's instead a strategic partner in delivering continuous quality. You see, it even creates a good ground for feedback, and it does not bring walls. It breaks those walls. It means QA contributes from planning to post release. It means QA starts from the planning phase, which was not there before. The modern ways employ you to start from planning to test, to even the testing phase itself, to pre-release, and now to post-release. And instead of being a blocker, QA is now enabling speed and confidence, even through automation, collaboration, and early involvement. And success now depends on both cross-functional collaboration between developers, testers, DevOps, and product working together as one cohesive unit. For those asking what DevOps means, it's a combined development and IT operations practice, tools, and a cultural philosophy to automate and integrate processes, accelerating software development and delivery. So QA creates this good environment the modern QA creates this good environment for both speed and confidence for all teams, not only the QA team. It creates an easy environment for all teams also. Developers don't have to back release platforms. Testers don't have to repeat testing platforms. The product team doesn't have to capture bugs in production, or the QA doesn't have to capture bugs or issues in production. The sales team doesn't have to report multiple bugs in production. And no team will be stressed if you do a good groomed testing release with both shift left and a shift right approach. This is, I tried to come up with a mock agile sprint board with QA tasks across phases that has incorporated the modern ways. You can see the backlog grooming, whereby the QA reviews stories and defines acceptance criteria. There's also sprint planning, the sprint planning phase, whereby the QA identifies test cases and prepares for automation. It now strategizes towards automation. We now have the development phase now, whereby there is pair testing and unit and integration test reviews. And now there's now the testing phase, whereby the QA team runs test suites and automates regression tests. And now there's the release stage and the release phase, whereby builds are validated by the QA team. The QA team also does smoke tests and also assists in deployments. And now there's now the shift right testing, which is the post-release phase, whereby the QA monitors the metrics and gathers feedbacks and suggests fixes and improvements to the stakeholders and the relevant teams. I had a did you know? Netflix, which is one of my favorite applications, uses shift right testing by deliberately breaking its own systems using Chaos Monkey to ensure resilience. I think that's an encouraging thing to see from one of our mother software companies that does a very good job, right? So I have a question for everyone, each and every one of you. You can just answer in the chat. So the first question is, what best describes the role of a modern QA in today's software teams? Well, you can just write, what do you think? Is it a gatekeeper who blocks releases until bugs are fixed? Is it a siloed tester, an isolated tester, working independently of developers? Is it an embedded collaborator ensuring quality across the software development lifecycle? Or is it someone who only runs manual test cases? What do you think? You can write your answer in the chat, in the Q&A chat. And then the second question is, which of the following is a shift left activity? Is it writing unit test cases during development? Is it collecting user feedback after a release? Is it monitoring the uptime with tools like New Relic? Or is it running the A/B tests on live users? What do you think? You can write your own answer and as to why, and the reason as to why you think that's the answer. I'll leave this screen for like a few seconds so that you can gather your answers, so that we can go on. Also, another thing I've been I've been loving about BrowserStack. Let me just mention BrowserStack. BrowserStack is a very good platform whereby it can help you apply both shift left and shift right. Funny enough, whereby you can test your application during staging or during the shift left process, whereby you can upload your APK if you're testing on Android devices. Do your pre-production tests. And also it's a good platform that allows you to also do post-production testing, whereby you can download live builds on both Play Store and App Store if you're doing mobile app testing. And it allows you to do live, it allows you to download real live applications from either Play Store or App Store to simulated devices and do live testing on it. And you can also do parallel testing. You can test that live application or that shift left build on 2 devices and see how each looks on each device. And I think it's a beautiful thing whereby we have come from places whereby you have to test on physical phones, and now we can do it on simulated devices and actually test on 2 simulated devices at the same time and identify issues on 2 simulated devices and see whether it's actually an issue that occurs. Is it a false positive issue or is it an action issue? Yeah. So I'll head to the next topic, which is tools, tech, and automation. I think I have already begun touching on it when I mentioned BrowserStack. BrowserStack is a great tool in that satisfies the QA needs or even a developer needs on all levels of testing. So today I'll be talking about smart automation and a smarter QA. So what do I mean by smart automation, smarter QA? Automation frees us to focus on high value testing, but we must automate wisely. You don't automate everything. You automate things that you test repeatedly and features that will not change. I am trying to imagine you have like three releases to do in 3 months. So, and in these 3 months, you have a feature that you're sure it's going to be changing in these 3 months. So why should you automate a test case scenario or a feature that is going to be changed monthly? I'd rather you automate a feature that it's going to be retained there for the next years so that it can remove some weight on top of a feature that was going to be, instead of automating a feature that was to be done, will be changed. You can now automate a feature that needs more attention and it's going to be repeated more often. So when you're talking about functional tools, automation tools like Selenium, Cypress, designed for functional testing, and also BrowserStack, and it helps testers execute repeated and repetitive tasks with precision. These are suitable for regression tests and smoke tests, and also some exploratory tests, not all. An example, a Selenium script that tests login functionality repeatedly across multiple browsers. You can also do this on BrowserStack. You can also create automated scripts. You can also do this on, I think it's BrowserStack and Selenium, yeah, whereby you can just write a script to test a login functionality, something that won't change probably for the next 5 years or so. So you can write a script and test logically. That's a wise move because you're automating something that you're supposed to be testing repeatedly so that you can focus on things that you want to be testing repeatedly. When not to automate, automation isn't suitable for exploratory tests. That's why I used some exploratory tests. It's not suitable for exploratory testing, UX assessments, and one-off flows. These are flows that you'll be doing once and for all, as these require human intuition. Example, an exploratory test for a feature may not be easily automated since it involves dynamic decision making. ROI-driven approach. What is an ROI-driven approach? This is an approach that involves evaluating financial benefits of QA activities against their costs, aiming to maximize the return on investment. ROI means return on investment. So these are approaches that evaluate the financial benefits against their costs. So you have to maximize the return on investment. Any decision that you make as a QA, you have to make sure that it has a maximum ROI to your team and also to the stakeholders. So automation should be implemented with a clear return on investment approach in mind, focusing on only repeatable, not only, but mostly repeatable, high impact test cases that deliver long-term value. For example, you have to automate unit test cases, right? So you can automate unit test cases for backend APIs rather than testing a feature only once. You see? So it's better you focus on things that will definitely bring an ROI driven approach than something that will not bring benefit to the return on your investment as a QA. That's time and also the resources that you're paying for. Like I see, browser stack costs around $310 a month. So you have to make sure that whatever you're paying for or whatever you're using has to be bringing a higher return on that investment that you've made, right? So there's continuous testing in CI and CD. Modern QA sits in the CI/CD pipeline, providing instant feedback for developers. Tools for the CI/CD integration, we use modern tools like GitHub Actions, GitLab, CI, and Jenkins integrate with the CI/CD pipeline, enabling automated testing with every code change. For example, any GitHub action, any triggers upon GitHub Actions, it will trigger a test suite every time a developer pushes new code on the repository. And what are the benefits of this continuous testing in the CI/CD pipeline? It ensures faster feedback and it mimics regressions and accelerates development cycles by catching bugs earlier. So every time a developer does any update, or anytime a developer receives any instant feedback that has a commit has broken the build, it will allow them to fix issues before they escalate, right? So there's also powering QA with AI. I think this is something that I like. I think I've sung for the last 3 months or so, because in my last talk, I was also discussing about powering QA with AI. AI is not replacing testers. I think that's the fear that most people have, whereby AI is coming to replace your job. I think it's more of coming to complement and amplify your abilities in that job. You have to learn the cause of the job, because AI is like any other search engine tool, but it's more of optimized to give higher quality answers and higher quality responses. It cannot replace you fully. It's coming to amplify your abilities. Let's say something like visual AI testing. AI-powered tools like Apili tools use visual testing to ensure UI consistency across different browsers and devices. This is also seen in Passy AI in Browser Stack, whereby it detects UI differences between releases to ensure visual stability. Let's say you've been working with a particular login page for a long while, then they changed something, maybe the positioning of a button, or maybe the color of a button. Then this change was not tested across multiple devices. Maybe a device in dark mode, or maybe a device in light mode, or maybe a large screen device or a small screen device that will crop up that button. You see, now Apili tools and Passy comes in and helps you detect such issues. You see, it helps you detect these UI differences in between releases to ensure visual stability. It will help you detect these issues between different browsers and different devices. It will aid in telling you this positioning of this button, specific, maybe the login or the logout button or the sign out button or the home button, to be specific. The positioning of this button has been replaced, but in this specific device, maybe because it's a small screen device, it's cropped or it's truncated, so users can't visually see it on the first instance. So you see, it will bring issues, right? Then we have self-healing tests. These are AI-driven tools like Testim and Mabel, automatically adapting to test scripts when UI changes are made, which reduces maintenance efforts. So let's take an example of my previous example. The login screen was changed and the positioning of the button changed. So test team adjusts the locators of a failed test case whereby a button's position of the page changes. So it will adjust the locators of a failed test case. So if that button was from position A, it will adjust it to position B. So the test case now self-heals itself through AI, instead of you now going to manually adjust it yourself because it's a failed test case or because it's an updated test case. And then it also does risk prediction and smart test coverage, whereby it can analyze past data to predict which areas of the software are most likely to fail and focus testing efforts there. So examples, you can see that in an authentication module, we have scenarios and areas that are more prone to failure. Let's say an example of maybe you were using, I think for us, I can give a good example. We were using emails for authentication at some point. Then we shifted to phone numbers. So you see, it will give us areas that are most likely to fail because of that tiny change. It may seem like a tiny change, but what if that phone number was validating something? Maybe it was a primary key that helped in generating maybe a user ID somewhere, or maybe a contact ID somewhere, so that the business team can contact this person. So you see, it will help in identifying these areas of the software that are most likely to fail and focus testing efforts there. So yeah, and then now we have the beyond functional testing, whereby software excellence includes speed, safety, and stability. I think we've just talked about speed, and we are not going to talk about safety. We have safety tools like OSAP, ZAP, which allow for penetration testing and identify vulnerabilities that could be exploited. I've used OSAP once, and it does something called slamming. It uses a slamming technique. So we have techniques of penetration testing. You have slamming, you have brute force. So I think I've used whereby it slams lots of data at the same time, so that it can see which exact data will be allowed inside the system. Maybe there's a system loophole, and if it gets allowed, detects it. After detecting it, it notes it down. So it detects security flaws using SQL injection, we call aka slamming, or cross-site scripting using the XSS method. Then we have performance testing tools like JMeter. I think most of us use JMeter to do performance testing, and K6 that help simulate load and stress conditions, ensuring that applications perform very well under heavy traffic. So if you have multiple millions of users accessing your site today, it won't load, or it won't have some accessibility issues, like maybe somebody cannot access their money if it's a financial system, or so and so. So JMeter runs a load test to simulate 1,000 users in our website simultaneously. Yeah. So we also have full stack validation, whereby we integrate performance, security, and functional tests into the CI/CD pipeline, which ensures comprehensive quality checks. For example, a Postman test, which tests API, ensures APIs are secure, while JMeter ensures the backend handles high traffic, all integrated into the deployment pipeline. You see, now you are integrating both Postman and JMeter tests. As you're ensuring security, you're also ensuring your backend handles high traffic very well. Yeah. One of the did you know instances that I had today is that AI in visual testing can distinguish between real UI issues and cosmetic changes, reducing false positives by over 50%. So softwares like Passy.ai can distinguish between real UI issues. Is this button really hidden? Is this button really truncated? Is this button really not good under dark mode? It's not visually seen. And it reduces false positives by over 50%. As false positive means that the test was incorrectly indicated as a presence of a bug. It was incorrectly indicated as a bug, or a vulnerability when it's actually not a bug. So it helps us indicate that. So I have 2 more questions for the day. So what is the biggest risk of over automating tests? You can write your answer in the comment section also. Is it because tests are too fast? Or is it because we have flaky results that erode confidence? Or we have developers that write less code, or more bugs are caught? Which one do you think is the right answer? Is it because tests are too fast? Is it because of flaky results that erode confidence? Or is it because developers write less code? Or is it because more bugs are caught? What is the biggest risk of automating tests? Then number 2, which of the following is a benefit of using AI in quality assurance? Is it that it eliminates the need for manual testing? Is it can help predict risky areas and auto-heal broken tests? Is it because it replaces all functional tools like tests, like Selenium, API, or is it because it slows down the release cycle for better accuracy? Which one do you think is the answer? You can let us know in the comment section. Thank you. So then we go to the last topic. This one's a short topic because it's more of a self-explanatory or more of a discussion topic. Like, we're building software for excellence. That's the core of our job. That's like everything that we are going to do, that we're going to be doing as a QA. Like, our work is to make sure that the software that we are building as a tester, even testing is part of building the software. And that software that we are testing and building, it's going to be ready, it's going to be excellent. It's going to meet the standards of software excellence. So the QA mindset shift. There's somebody who told me in the past that greatest battles are won in the mind. I think it was said by either Winston Churchill or one of the great leaders in the US, whereby greatest battles are won in the mind. And it's true. Mindset matters more than anything. And in this case, as a QA, mindset matters more than tools. You might have all the tools, but if your mindset is not set in the right place, you will not deliver good software. Your software delivery will not be up to par. So modern QA is more than executing test cases. You might write 1 million test cases, but still your systems might be flawed. You might test 1 million test cases that you wrote, but still your system is not excellent. It's about thinking more proactively. A quality mindset asks, what could go wrong? What do you think could go wrong if we miss this scenario? And prioritizes preventing issues early and advocating for the end user. It's more about risk-based testing. Instead of testing everything early, focus on areas of high impact. For example, prioritize payment gateway tests, or what we call paywall testing, over frequently asked questions page, FAQ page validation. And then the second thing is, you put yourself, or you try and think about the voice of the user. You act as a customer's advocate. Try and think, what would the user do, or what would the user think? What issues might a user raise at the time that they are trying to use your software? You raise concerns about a confusing, let's say a scenario whereby a user raises concerns about a confusing sign-up form, even if it technically works. So as a QA, you're supposed to think, okay, by the way, a user might raise their concern about this sign-up page. So you raise it earlier than the user and go to the development team or the product team and say, this UX, the sign-up looks good. It technically works, but it's confusing. The UX, the user experience is really confusing. We better change it early. As a QA, for the many years I've worked as a QA, I don't like the term, as long as it works or as long as it's not broken, it's fine. That's not me. For me, as long as it works and it's not broken, I have to test it more. Or if you do a smooth release and find no bugs, that's when my alarm ticks and I have to test actually more. So that's me. I don't know about you. You can write in the comment section what works for you. And also, QA is more of a team sport. than an isolation game. It's not a silo, like you're not in a tube alone, you're not in a silo alone, you're not isolated. It works best when embedded and aligned with the rest of the team. You thrive in collaboration. A QA thrives in collaboration. Embedding QA into sprint planning, design reviews, and retrospectives shift the culture from gatekeeping whereby you have to see the software at the end together with the users and now finding issues at the end, to now co-owning success with the developers and the product managers. QA in planning, you now join the backlog grooming sessions and help identify test cases early. For example, you highlight testability concerns before a feature is even developed. You now start raising those concerns about that confusing sign-up form or that confusing maybe paywall page, even if it technically works. You now share success, you now celebrate resolved issues as a team, not now assigning blame. Imagine debunking a flaky test with the developer rather than just reporting it. You see, it's now for you to have quality, it is a joint effort between the QA team, a developer, and a product team. That's what brings about quality. And now finally, my best framework. This is the framework I work with every day. As a QA, this is the framework I work with. It's called the Excel framework. It's simply a way to think about software excellence. It's a simple model to help you understand modern QA efforts and understand how the values are grounded. Those quality values, how are they grounded into user QA? And understanding testing, it goes beyond those scripts that you write or those test cases that you write. It encourages empathy, curiosity, and constant learning. E stands for empathy, whereby you understand real user struggles. As you've seen in my previous page, I was talking about you now put yourself in the shoes of a user. You become the voice of a user. You act as a customer's advocate. You now understand the real user struggles while using the system. For example, you test low-end devices or slow connections because most users have low-end, some users have low-end devices, sorry, and some users will experience slow connections while accessing your application. So will they find a good UX or will they find a happy UX? That's the difference between a good software and an excellent software. Then we have exploration. This is going beyond the happy path. I think I've been hearing people say, I will stick to the happy path, whereby I'll only test this and this and this. And if it reaches here and if it works, I'm okay. Then there's me, I have to go the extra mile. I have to know what if I click outside the sign up button? What if I click submit twice? Will it submit the data twice? If I click submit thrice, will it submit the data thrice? Or you try edge cases like special characters in the name fields, whereby maybe it's a place that should have only numeric values. What should an alphabet be doing there? And then they C, that stands for collaboration, whereby you work closely with a developer and a product team and a UX team. And then there's early involvement, whereby you get to participate before development starts. And then there's lifelong learning, keeping up with tools, trends, and new testing strategies. I think this is the best place that I love being, whereby I have to learn every day. I have to keep up with the tools and trends of every day. I'm talking about browser stack. We're talking about even AI. There's ChatGPT. There are also sub-modules in ChatGPT that enable you to create test cases and to create user case scenarios and to create test users. You see? Excel. You now become an Excel QA for a good software excellence. You see? You now become a whole QA for excellence. Did you know the best testing strategy is not always automation? It's knowing what to automate and when to collaborate. That's the best testing strategy. It's knowing what to automate and what not to automate and knowing when to collaborate. That's my parting shot for the day. Then we have two simple questions. In the Excel framework, what does the X stand for? You can write the answer in the comment section. Does it stand for X-ray testing? Does it stand for extreme automation? Does it stand for exploration through testing? Does it stand for external integration? What do you think? And which of the following best represents empathy in QA? Is it prioritizing backend logic? Is it ignoring UI inconsistencies? Is it understanding how real users experience the product? Or is it focusing only on happy parts? What do you think is the best way to represent empathy as a QA and in the QA world? So thank you for joining, and let's keep pushing the boundaries of quality together. And I'm happy to take any questions now. Thank you.
Wow.
For those who want to reach my details, you can scan this QR code. It will take you directly to my portfolio. And these are my contacts. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Emmanuel. This was meticulous. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
It has been a very, very much insightful session. It also goes to show the amount of work that you put in preparing this, and also how knowledgeable you are.
Thank you.
I've learned a lot, and I hope you all have too. So we'll now move to the Q&A segment, and I've not seen questions coming in. Guys, if you have questions, you can type on the chat. In the meantime, we could go through the questions that you're projecting, Emmanuel. Maybe you could answer them.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Sure. Let me go to the first question. So this was the first question. What best describes the role of a modern QA in today's software teams? So is it a gatekeeper who blocks releases until bugs are fixed? Is it a siloed tester working independently of developers? Is it an embedded collaborator? Or is it someone who only runs manual test cases? The correct answer is C, an embedded collaborator ensuring quality across the software development lifecycle. I hope did anybody get that? Or did anybody have an idea of that?
From the chat, I could see most people answered correctly, but in case no one wants to speak, you can raise your hand, then I'll unmute your mic.
Awesome. Let's go to the second question. Which of the following is a shift left activity? I think this I'll leave to the audience. It's a very exciting answer actually. Anybody who wants to try? Is it A, writing unit test cases during development? Is it collecting user feedback after release? Is it monitoring uptime with tools like New Relic? Or is it running A to B tests on live users? What do you think?
Someone is raised their hand. Let me
Sure.
unmute them. Happiness. Wow, nice name. Okay, you can go ahead and speak. I'm just unmuting you right away. It's loading. Yeah. Happiness, over to you.
Thank you. I'd like to answer that question. I'll go with A, writing unit tests during development, because shift left, as I understand, it's when we introduce testing during the early stages of development. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
That's good. I hope there is a clapping emoji in Zoho, but that's correct. That's
Let me start by clapping for her. Thank you, Happiness.
Yeah, that's very correct, Happiness. The correct answer is A, writing unit tests during development. That's very, very correct. Thank you very much, Happiness. That's awesome. That's very awesome. I'll be moving to the second batch of questions. So the first question was, what's the biggest risk of over automating tests? Is it that tests are too fast? Is it flaky tests that erode confidence? Is it developers writing less code? Or is it more bugs are caught? What do you guys think? I'll leave it out to the audience. Is it tests are too fast? Is that the biggest risk of automating? Is it flaky tests that erode confidence? Is it developers write less code? Is it more bugs are caught? What's the biggest risk? And then I always say no answer is wrong.
Someone has just raised their hands. Let me unmute them. It's still
Sure.
happiness. Is your hand still up, or is it the previous hand that you raised?
Oh, it's the previous hand. Sorry.
That's fine. In the interest of time, I think I can answer this.
Yes.
Yes, it's flaky results that erode confidence.
Awesome. Thanks. That's the correct answer. Flaky results that erode confidence. Thank you. Then I'll head to the second question. Which of the following is a benefit of using AI in QA? Is it that it eliminates the need of manual testing? Is it can help predict risky areas and auto-heal broken tests? Is it replaces all functional tools like Selenium? Is it that it slows down the release cycle for better accuracy? What do you guys think? And ladies, what do you think? Is it that it eliminates the need of manual testing? Is it can help predict risky areas and auto-heal broken tests? Is it that it replaces all functional tools like Selenium? And is it that it slows down the release cycle for better accuracy? What do you guys think?
Okay, I have someone who's raised their hands. Thank you, Ruth. I'm unmuting you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ruth.
USB can help predict risky areas and auto-heal broken tests.
Correct. That's the correct answer. Thank you, Ruth. I hope the clapping emojis are coming. Let's head to the other question. The last set of questions. So in the Excel framework, what does the X stand for? Is it X-ray testing? Is it extreme automation? Is it exploration through testing? Is it external integration? What do you guys think? Does the X in Excel stand for X-ray testing? Does it stand for extreme automation? Does it stand for exploration through testing? Or does it stand for external integration? What do you guys think?
Abdallah has just answered.
Okay.
Is it no, not it's not for this. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sure.
We have 2 minutes remaining, so I guess just the moderator. Oh, someone has raised their hands.
Sure.
Ellen, I'm unmuting you. Okay, go ahead, Ellen. Then the speaker can answer the final question so that I can have 1 minute to myself.
Sure.
Ellen, please go ahead. Okay, I think you can just answer. I think Ellen.
Exploration through testing. Sorry, I had not unmuted myself.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. That's correct. Exploration through testing. That's very correct, Helen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's clap for Ellen.
Yes. And then the final question. Which of the following best represents empathy in QA? Is it prioritizing backend logic? Is it ignoring UI inconsistencies? Is it understanding how real users experience the product? Or is it focusing only on happy parts? The correct answer is understanding how real users experience the product. This shows empathy in understanding a product.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Yes.
Just 1 minute to the end of the session, and it has been a very, very productive session.
Yeah.
And I would like to thank you, Emmanuel, for sharing your insights.
Yes.
And for this powerful presentation, and to everyone for joining us today. We hope you gained valuable insights that you would apply in your day-to-day job and also in interviews. And don't forget to follow our chat for any upcoming events, and we'll be very happy to have you on board. Thank you so much, guys, and see you soon. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Can we have the presentation if possible?
Yes.
Yes.
Emmanuel, you'll share with us, then we'll share the chat on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Yes, I'll
Thank
do so.
you.